BookTube, this is Friday Reads. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, and you know what, I just put these on. These are my Bluetooth earbuds, and I was thinking somebody ought to like fancy these up, like zhuzh them up, you know, like bedazzle them and put rhinestones on them, or, you know, make them pretty somehow, paint them. I don't know. I'm not really much of an original thinker. I mean, I can do it, but I have trouble with that. But I'm a good editor, and so I would buy them if I thought that they could be fabulous. I mean, if you're going to walk around with Bluetooth earbuds on, shouldn't they really be pretty? I think they should. Well, anyway, let me talk about what I'm reading this weekend. I am finishing up, I'm about halfway through, Rook. This is by Sharon Cameron. It's narrated by Caroline Faraday, and it is a loose retelling of the Scarlet Pimpernel. That story is set in France. I think it's during the time of the French Revolution. All I know about the Scarlet Pimpernel is the basic storyline that I got from the old movie with Richard Chamberlain and Jane Seymour, which I think I watched like a billion years ago or something. But this story is set in the future, and in this future, like in our time, it's like 200 or 300 years in the future. And so wars have happened, and a big plague happened, and the people of this world have blamed all that on technology. And so technology of any kind is against the law. So this is very much of a agrarian, I guess, society, you would call it. You know, a lot of horses and buggies and wagons and walking, and no technology, not even clocks. Well, all of that is against the law, and the guy who's running France is deciding that there are a whole lot of people that he views as political prisoners, and he's chopping off their heads. So there's a young girl who lives, I think she's in the Commonwealth, and I'm not sure if that's like Great Britain across the channel. I don't know, but anyway, she lives in a place that you have to travel to get to France, and they call it the Sunken City because apparently Paris is sinking. And so she goes in and rescues these political prisoners from the dungeons and gets them to safety. And when she does that, she's always in disguise, and she leaves a rook feather that is tipped at the top of it with red. So, you know, that's her signature. Well, this dictator's out to get her, doesn't know who she is, doesn't know who the rook is that keeps leaving these feathers and stealing his prisoners, and so he's out to get her. And the nice thing about this book is that I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know who is turning who in, and who the mole is, and who's keeping the secrets, and who's on whose side, you know, all of that. I have no idea. And I love that, because I hate it when I can predict what a book is going to do, like where the plot's going to go and that kind of thing. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm halfway through. I don't know how much longer it's going to take me to get through it. I'm at like chapter 14 of 28, so we'll see. After I finish this, I think that I am going to go on to Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer, which is narrated by Steve West, and I love him. And I loved him in An Ember in the Ashes when he narrated that with Fiona Hardingham. So I already know I'm going to love the narration. And that just came out recently, and I got a hold of a copy, so I will probably pick that up next. Because last week I finished up a really long romance, and I was really like 20 hours long of listening time. And so I'm kind of done with that for a little while. You know, I've had my fill, and now I need to stick with that whole sci-fi, you know, fantasy vibe. So on my iPad, the book I am reading does not have a cover. So here is my pretty iPad cover. It is the sequel to The Delphi Effect by Riza Walker, and I'm beta reading that because I'm part of her street team and I get to do that stuff. It isn't even an arc, so it doesn't even have a cover. But it's really good. I love being back in that world again, and so that's kind of fun. I'm only about 3 chapters in, but I'm already loving it. So I know that when I do get time to actually sit down and concentrate and read with my eyes, that I'm going to fly through it. Just, it's that good. So that's my weekend. What are you reading this weekend? You know, I always want to know. I always go look it up. And thank you so much for all of you that give me new books to put on my TBR. Like, I need more books on my TBR. That's kind of my own fault, I really think. And, you know, who among us doesn't have that problem? You know, we're all terrible for each other in that way, aren't we? We all make each other want to buy new books and read more stuff, and our brains just can't hold it all. There isn't enough time in a day. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, anyway, that has nothing to do with the weekend. Just tell me what you're reading, and we'll talk about it in comments. And that's it for now for me. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.